keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Good day, welcome to your news at noon on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. Making top story today, food and water more important than oil. Prime Minister Motley tells Agri-Investment Forum. Guyana targets aquaculture, soya and poultry to cut food import bill, says President Ali. And Prime Minister Rowley offers to build business model to boost regional food supply and mults CARICOM register for business. Gunmen abandoned car during gunfight with police. CCJ orders GRA to refund taxpayer over $45 million. Lack of access to loans continues to stifle local businesses. Foreign taxi driver beaten and robbed by passenger. Government issues warning about air quality over Sahara dust. And $20 million default judgment against Jadbio stands. Meanwhile, one more COVID death, 62 new infections. Stay tuned to stay informed.
Not a single bar of service.
Not with us. Digicel officially has the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Ookla, the company behind Speed Test, recognizes Digicel as the network with the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Be it in Georgetown or in NI, we got you covered. Digicel, better together.
And now for the news in detail. After cheering President Ali on for being the host of the inaugural Agri-Investment Forum, which provides regional leaders an opportunity to tap into the rich resources available in the respective Caribbean countries, Prime Minister of Barbados, Mayor Motley, went on to caution that food and water remain priority rather than oil at a time when the global supply chain remains grounded due to strains from the pandemic and the European war between Russia and Ukraine especially. She explained that as of May 17th, several countries have moved to impose export restrictions in a bid to secure food for their people. Specifically, Motley highlighted that Indonesia has imposed export restrictions on palm oil, while sunflower seeds and oil, as well as wheat, have been banned from exports by Russia. Similarly, Ukraine has also stopped exporting wheat and oats, while Argentina too has extended export restrictions on beef products until next year. India and Kazakhstan most recently have restricted imports of wheat as well, contributing to global shortage in baby formula. In other news, Guyana is looking to upscale its food production in key areas to avoid the pitfalls of food insecurity challenges. Addressing numerous regional heads of governments and their cabinet members, Caribbean community officials, diplomats, dignitaries, and invited guests at the inaugural Agri-Investment Forum and Expo, President Ali expressed the urgency with which regional leaders need to handle the business of feeding its people. President Ali pointed out that Guyana will invest heavily in areas such as fisheries. He said any increase in fishing supplies would then come from imports or aquaculture production and expansion. Currently, 50,000 metric tons of poultry are produced in Guyana, but that number is projected to reach 90,000 metric tons by 2025. Corn and soya are currently produced at 4,300 metric tons, but are projected to increase by 35,000 metric tons by 2025 as well. An investment of $651 million is set to be allocated to develop this area as a consortium of farmers, private sector, and other relevant stakeholders continue to be devised. And moving on. Now more than ever, member states of CARICOM are gripped by the inescapable need to break free from the rhetoric and commit to meaningful collaborative action that will improve the region's food production system. It is with this very understanding in mind that Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Kaieteur Rowley proposed that his country, one of the founding members of CARICOM, would be willing to build a business model to boost regional food supply, with Guyana's vast agricultural potential as a springboard for success. The Prime Minister made this offer at the opening of the inaugural Agri-Investment Forum and Expo. Dr. Ali said the event, which concludes on Saturday, represents a giant step in getting the region to improve the quality and quantity of its production systems for food sustainability in all conditions. The CARICOM leader was keen to note, however, that time and action are of the essence. And moving on, 3 men on Thursday abandoned their car in the vicinity of Crown Dam Industry, East Coast Demerara, after they opted to discontinue a gunfight with police. According to the Guyana Police Force, its ranks in the East Coast of Demerara district noticed a Toyota Allion motor car driving in a dangerous manner along the Plaisance public road and decided to stop it. The car continued driving and reportedly turned onto Prince William Street. The policemen followed behind in their patrol vehicle, but as they approached Crown Dam Industry, the occupants of the car fired 2 shots at them. They reportedly returned fire and the car stopped. The ranks recalled seeing 3 men exiting the car and running away into the nearby cane fields. Investigators searched the abandoned vehicle and found several copies of Nigerian passports belonging to 2 individuals. A Guyanese ID card belonging to a woman was also found. The car, along with its documents, has been lodged at the Sparendam police station as police continue investigations into the matter. In other news, after reporting its last COVID-19 death over a month ago, the Ministry of Health on Thursday revealed that a fully vaccinated 74-year-old man from Region 6 is now the country's latest fatality. Following a spike in cases and now the latest death, the ministry encourages persons to observe the public health measures set out by them. Meanwhile, 62 new infections have been recorded in the country within the last 24-hour period. The new cases, which bring the total number of confirmed cases to 64,082, were detected in Region 4, which recorded 45 cases, Region 2, which recorded 5 cases, Region 6, which recorded 7, Regions 3 and 10, which recorded 2 each, and Region 5, which recorded 1. Currently, 2 patients are admitted into the ICU, 25 in institutional isolation, 426 are in home isolation, and 1 in institutional quarantine. To date, a total of 62,400 persons have recovered from the virus. You're listening to Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and of course 99.5 FM. The time has now moved on to 12 hours 12. We will resume after the break.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
Welcome back. Let's continue with the news. In 2021, Guyana passed its local content legislation, which caters to locals getting first preference in the country's oil and gas sector. The local content law is intended to regulate the way companies operate in Guyana's oil and gas sector, employ persons, buy services, and the way that they procure goods. However, local companies, especially medium-sized businesses, lack access to loans from the banking sector, with reasonable interest rates has been hindering their competitiveness in the oil and gas sector. As a result of the aforementioned, several members of Guyana's private sector have voiced their concerns about the issue. President of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Timothy Tucker, stated in the Private Sector Commission 2021 report that medium-sized businesses have suffered the most due to the fact that they are not classified as small businesses to get support from the government and are not large enough to have easy access to money with a good interest rate from the banking system. Meanwhile, the Environmental Protection Agency and the Hydrometeorological Service on Thursday advised the public that air quality monitoring has determined that the concentrations of particulate matter have exceeded the World Health Organization's standard in several regions across Guyana. The increase in concentrations of particulate matter is due to the significant amounts of dust traveling across the northern tropical Atlantic to the Caribbean from Sahara region, commonly known as the Sahara Dust Phenomenon or the Saharan Air Layer, the 2 government departments said in a joint statement. As such, the department said hazy conditions are expected and visibility may be poor. High concentrations of particulate matter may affect vulnerable populations such as children, the elderly, and persons with respiratory system illnesses. These persons are advised to limit their presence outdoors. And I'll tell you, the Caribbean Court of Justice has ordered the Guyana Revenue Authority to refund a taxpayer over $45 million, which was deducted from a judgment award he had secured from his previous place of employment. According to legal documents, the plaintiff, James Ramsahoy, was awarded damages of approximately 78 million Guyana dollars for breach of contract of service against his former employer, Linden Mining Enterprise Limited, by the Court of Appeal in an earlier case. These damages constituted a loss of salary for 41 months until Ramsahoy reached 65 years of age, pension for the years 1972 to 98, and interest. CCJ Justice Dennis Barrow delivered the reasons for the majority of the court. The judge noted that GRA's counsel acknowledged that the violation of the dispute resolution procedures under the Act nullified the entire assessment, both in respect of the years 1990 to 1998 and Ramsahoy's loss of earnings. Meanwhile, a split decision by the full court on Thursday has resulted in a default judgment against Vice President Jagdeo being upheld. The default appeal was granted against the Vice President in favor of opposition Member of Parliament Annette Ferguson over a defamation suit that she filed against him in 2020. Jagdeo had appealed to the full court. However, as a result of the division in the full court, the decision of the trial judge who found that the statements made by Jagdeo against Ferguson were defamatory and libelous still stands. Chief Justice Roxanne George Wiltshire ruled to dismiss the appeal filed by Jagdeo, while Justice Priya Sunarayan Bihari ruled to allow the appeal. As a consequence, Jagdeo's lawyer, Devendra Kisoon, requested and was granted a stay on the ruling for 8 weeks to consult with the Vice President on a possible next move forward. And to wrap things up, a midnight trip on Thursday for only $600 has left a foreign taxi driver without a car, a cell phone, and $40,000 cash after his passenger and 2 accomplices beat and robbed him at gunpoint along Ice Road House, West Rhymeville, Georgetown. Beaten with a handgun to the face for his belongings is Ikichukwu Otiko, a 47-year-old medical student of the Rajiv Gandhi University of Science and Technology in Guyana. Otiko does part-time work with a Toyota Allion motor car. He told police that he resisted them and he got into a scuffle with the men, but eventually they used the handguns to beat him out of his car before driving away with it. Investigators now reviewing CCTV footage to assist them in tracking the car's movement after the robbery. And as usual, we turn the pages of today's Kaieteur News to page 7, dedicated to bluntness. 25 by 2025. The Regional Agri-Investment Forum opened on Thursday at the National Cultural Center here in Guyana. It is a noble initiative, and we give great credit to President Irfanali for his vision and foresight in organizing such an event. The forum, which emphasizes the need for the CARICOM region to attend to its food security against the backdrop of a very high and unsustainable food import bill, could not have come at a better time. Listening to the various speeches of the regional leaders yesterday, one gets the impression that everyone is on board in the drive to make CARICOM food secure. We again commend President Ali and trust that the remaining days of the exposition would truly expose our local and regional farmers and help open up markets for them. We can also hope that flowing from the discussions, concrete actions will be taken to realize the dreams and theme of the conference, which is to reduce the region's food import bill by 25% by the year 2025. And that brings us to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.